Night is For, supposedly written by the great Miles Davis. This is one of several Miles Davis tunes with dubious authorship, which means it might not have been written by him. For has also been credited to American jazz saxophonist Eddie Cleanhead Vincent, although nothing has ever been definitively proven. So, Miles wrote it and released it on his 1956 album, Blue Haze, featuring tenor sax soloist Hannah Bossman Kennedy and trumpet soloist Josiah Knock Knock Moore. Here is For.
I wrote that too.
Samba. It's a bossa nova song composed by Antonio Carlos Jobim in 1960. It's true to its name in that the melody is based on one note. Listen as the trumpets demonstrate the melody for us. It seems simple, but the samba chord changes around and it keeps things interesting. The lyrics are as follows. This is just a little samba built upon a single note. Other notes are sure to follow, but the root is still that note. Now this new note is the consequence of the one we've just been through, as I'm bound to be the unavoidable consequence of you. There are so many people who can talk and talk and talk and say just nothing or nearly nothing. I have used up all the scale I know, and at the end I've come to nothing, I mean nothing. So I come back to my first note, as I must come back to you. I will pour into that one note all the love I feel for you. Anyone who wants the whole show, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. He will find himself with no show, better play the note you know. Featuring alto sax soloist Alex Himmelman, please enjoy One Note Samba.
next tune is Ornithology. It's by Yasinitsky. It's an arrangement of a classic Charlie Parker tune, which also by the name of Ornithology. Ornithology obviously meaning the study of birds, and a subtle homage to the original bird, Mr. Charlie Parker himself. Ornithology is a contrafact, which means it's a newly created melody written over a chord progression of another song, which in this case is the jazz standard How High the Moon. This tune will feature alto saxophone soloist Trevor Zarnstorff and vibraphone soloist Nolan Adis. Please enjoy Ornithology.
Thank Hello, okay. Our next selection this evening is Just Friends, arranged by Scott Ragsdale. Written in 1931 by the songwriting duo John Klenner and St. Louis, this jazz standard has been brilliantly arranged as a samba featuring our trombone section. Recorded by greats such as Frank Sinatra, Chet Baker, Billie Holiday, and Charlie Parker, the lyrics tell of a failed romance, broken hearts, and acceptance. Although you never hear the heartache through the upbeat samba feel of the song. Just friends drifting apart. Just friends, but one broken heart. We loved, we laughed, we cried. Suddenly love died. The story ended, but we're just friends. Please enjoy Just Friends.
Mr. Moore, and sadly, Mr. Brown made me promise not to tell any jokes. Our next tune, Doxy, is an early composition by jazz saxophonist Sonny Rollins. It first appeared on the 1957 Miles Davis album Bag's Groove, performed by Davis on trumpet, Rollins on tenor saxophone, and other very famous musicians. Doxy was written by Sonny Rollins during his stopover in England on a European tour. Its name is given after a bread spread that the band was eating in a hotel. It's the seasoning packet that you mix into mayonnaise. Yuck. Well, whether or not you like Mayo, you'll enjoy Doxy, featuring soloists Alex Himmelman and Sarah Urban.
I'm going off script, Sarah. Give me a second. Sorry, I'm going off script. We are incredibly grateful that you all chosen to join us here tonight. This concert's a lot of fun. These kids have been up at the crack of dawn for so many Tuesdays and Thursdays, which means I've been up at the crack of dawn for so many Tuesdays and Thursdays. But it's okay, because we're cranking out music like this, and it's awesome. But let me tell you, this is my 4th year here at Turner. And my first year, we didn't take anything to a solo ensemble. My second year, we took a Class B piece to a solo ensemble, and we got a 1 rating, didn't we? I thought, yeah, sure. I'm pretty sure we did. So we took a Class B. Last year, we took a Class A and went to state. This year, we also took a Class A and went to state. So that's these kids working and working and working and grinding and just working hard in study halls with smart music, with just everything to get to where we are. We used to barely be able to cling to a Class B tune in here. Now, we worked up 4 Class B tunes in the last month just for this concert, as well as our Class A tunes for solo ensemble. So, but I mean, these kids are just the absolute greatest. Let's see, was it last week we had our clinic? Yes, it was. Time flies. Last week, we had a really unique opportunity. Because Mr. Barron's over there at Beloit Memorial has such a phenomenal jazz program. They are headed back to the Essentially Ellington competition in New York City for like the 7th time in 10 years or some stat like that. My numbers might not be exactly correct, but it's a bunch. And they are just awesome. And before they go there, the Jazz at Lincoln Center, who puts on the whole festival, they send a clinician out to all the finalist schools, and they do a clinic with them. Well, as a part of that, they also do a free 90-minute outreach clinic at a local area school. And I've gotten to know Mr. Barron a little bit over the past few years, and he said, hey, Mr. Brown, would you be interested in having this guest clinician from Jazz at Lincoln Center? And I said, yup, absolutely I would. Jazz at Lincoln Center is a world-renowned jazz organization. They are arguably the best in the business right now. And so we've had 2 of their clinicians in the past because of Beloit Memorial as well. And I can't even tell you how much we would have had to pay for a clinic like this. So I was expecting one of the band members from Jazz at Lincoln Center, you know, as we all were, which is incredibly intimidating because they're the best jazz players in the world. And we got something a little out of the ordinary. Not one of the Jazz at Lincoln Center people. We got, his name is James Burton III, right? And he is the professor of jazz theory at Juilliard. Wow. And when I heard the J word, Juilliard, I was like, whoa, it doesn't get any bigger than Juilliard in the music world. These professors are training the brightest up-and-coming minds in music in the world, not just in the country, in the world, are all training at Juilliard. And this dude is the professor of jazz theory. Come on in, we'd love to have him, you know? I was terrified. You know, and once we all learned what Juilliard was, we were as a group collectively terrified. But we had him in last week, and I'll be darned if he wasn't the nicest guy. Just so nice, and spent time with every person up on stage at some time or another during the clinic. Worked with every person individually. That's so cool. It's so cool. He was so down to earth, very kind, gave us a lot of practical suggestions that we can take with us. We worked on our 2 state hall ensemble tunes. He just worked with us, and he was so nice. And I came away from that just like enriched and full. And we filmed the whole thing, so I've been poring over it in my multitude of free time in the last week, just poring over it, just trying to get every little bit out of it that I could. it was such a neat experience. And I hope you guys appreciate it because it was absolutely awesome. I'm sure you did. They just had a great time. We learned a lot. And I wanted to fill you in on that. There's information about it or some pictures or whatever on the Turner High School Band Facebook page, which if you're a social media person, check out the Turner High School Band Facebook page. There's some really cool pictures from the clinic. And yeah, like I said, it was a really great opportunity. I just wanted to fill you in on that. My time is up. I have to give it back to Sarah Urban. But yeah, thanks for letting me fill you in on that because it was a really neat opportunity. Sarah, come here.
Cool.
Our last tune tonight is entitled Chameleon. This landmark funk tune, written in 1974 by the master of funk, Mr. Herbie Hancock, features one of the greatest bass lines in history. Listen as the Barry sax and Carolyn demonstrate the bass line. Featuring trumpet soloist Alec Mack, here's Chameleon. Let's get funky.
I made her say that. Well, thank you so much for coming tonight. I think that's about all we have. I'm sorry, what? Do we have to?
Yes.
I didn't have to. Well, apparently we have to play El Taco Rocko still. I was ready to go home, but I think they really want to play, so we'll probably play. Before we get there, really quickly, I want to thank a few people, the administration of Turner High School and the administrative assistants as well, as they really get the ball moving, and I appreciate that. The custodial staff who keeps this place looking amazing. Mrs. Rosenthal, who this is your final jazz concert, isn't it, Mrs. Rosenthal? Oh man. As a staff member, yeah, but I mean, I feel like you might move to like Tahiti and I'll never see you again. Is that accurate? Yeah, okay, I thought so. Mrs. Rosenthal, obviously my lovely wife, who is at home right now, and my parents, they're the greatest people ever. And these kids, they're the ones that really put out all the effort. I don't do much other than stand up here and shake my groove thing a little bit, because it's what we do. So give one more quick round of applause for these kids. Thank you so much. We will be performing on Saturday at UW Whitewater in the Young Auditorium at 11:12 a.m., like 11:12 a.m. Please come out and support these kids. They've worked so hard all year. And state is not another competition, it's a reward, really. It's not like, I mean, obviously we care about how we do, but it's a reward for all their hard work. And it goes up on the wall outside the band room, which is something they can take with them, you know? I was a part of that, which is just awesome. So that's Saturday, Young Auditorium, UW Whitewater, 11:12 a.m. But you people, please be there before 11:12 a.m. or I might lose my mind a little bit, okay? Thank you. We close with the Turner Jazz standard, El Taco Rocko. Give us just a second to get our bearings and we'll get going. Wonderful. Oh, yeah, no reason. Thank you so much for coming out tonight. We really do appreciate it.